Is finally here now.
Yep, so we are working for your wallet. Joining us this morning, we have Rafael Tulino from the IRS. Good morning, good to see you.
I like it, working for your wallet. I like it.
That's right, yes.
That's what we're trying to do, helping people out. It's October though, and we're talking about tax day.
So it's the unique part of it. The extension deadline is normal. As we all know, we get 6 months from mid-April to mid-October. This year, no different. However, the extraordinary part of it is through all the disaster declarations, the deadlines and all these things that happen, FEMA comes along, provides the relief for California, 55 of 58 counties earlier this year, to get relief to file and pay through today. And that's not normal. Normally we say the extension deadline to file, if you owe, you think you owe by mid-April, you want to get something in, you want to pay that where you avoid penalties, interest, and all those things. Same message now, because you can file and pay 6 months later from mid-April to mid-October.
It bought us some time.
Yeah, it
if
did.
You owe.
And for a lot of people in position to pay, and if they owe, they could wait by law until today and not necessarily have to pay to mid-April. So that was the difference in a very unique situation this year.
You could change some of the withholding a little bit to benefit yourself, right, and how much money you'll be getting back.
Right, because if taxes are now top of mind with 10 weeks left in the year, it's a good point. Most people get a refund. It's 7 of 10. The average refund about $2,500 coming back to people every year. It's about $300 billion normally in that ballpark. So you can adjust and have that money now in your pocket, so to speak, by adjusting your withholdings and avoiding a surprise, be it a refund or a balance due when you come to tax time by using a withholding estimator at irs.gov. And you can use this thing. It takes 20 minutes. Take a look at things and answer the questions. It's not intrusive, it's just information about you, and it'll kick out a ballpark of where you want to be. And it might say you've already paid enough, so you can adjust your W-4, so to speak.
Take home more pay.
This year, as opposed to waiting and getting that back next year in the form of a tax refund. Or a surprise, as a lot of folks are working in the gig economy and they're not paying quarterly payments, that kind of a thing. So that way you go, oh, I better take care of this now, as opposed to waiting for a surprise at tax time.
Knowing helps.
It's that time of year to maybe make those adjustments while it's top.
Good.
Is there a way for people to file for free?
Yes, irs.gov is free file, and that is still available through, I suppose, midnight tonight.
Okay.
Today will be the last
midnight. This is for the very last minute.
Yes. Procrastinators.
So check out free file at irs.gov.
If you procrastinate more than this and don't file, there are some pretty extensive penalties, right? It's pretty serious stuff.
If you have a requirement to file and you can't full pay, file the return, pay something, let's work something out like installment agreements and that kind of thing going forward. But certainly you want to file something and pay something if you can't full pay, because those penalties and that interest is much greater when you have a requirement to file and you don't file at all. So you want to at least get something in if you can't full pay.
Yeah, earlier we reported it's a 25% max fine that you may end up getting charged if you don't pay.
That could be a lot of money.
That's a
with
lot.
A balance due. If it's a refund return, then there's no penalties or interest. You're just letting the government hold your money until you file the tax return.
Right?
So
how do people get in touch with you folks to figure out these payment plans, and how does that work?
irs.gov.
Okay.
Yeah, it's much easier and it's much more convenient on the website. irs.gov, click the Pay tab. And then there's options there to take care of that.
Now, for people who are, since we're working for their wallet, if they do have money coming their way, how soon will they get it?
3 weeks or less for most paperless returns. So that's where you want to get to a computer, choose direct deposit, do a paperless tax return. And working for the wallet worked out, because we're talking about refunds and money maybe in front of tax time. So that was in front of the holidays. So.
Yeah, that's true. And this is the time where we need a little extra.
Look at that.
As opposed to waiting until next spring. So
Rafael, thanks so much for coming in here. Really appreciate your tips and your advice and your insight on this.
Anytime. Glad to
Tax day in October.
Yeah, there we go.
The weather does feel very April-like, Evan, so I will say it feels like April.